The truth about toxic people. Before we continue, I'd like you to stop, breathe deeply, smile, and walk away from negativity around you that's bringing you down. One of the main worries are toxic people, as they have this wonderful ability to destroy your positivity and your self-esteem. Do not let them take up space in your head and heart. Get rid of negative trash immediately. After all, it only takes one negative person to ruin your life. The less you respond to negative people, the more peaceful your life will be. Recognize toxic people. We all know individuals who are notoriously difficult to deal with. But how do we determine when these individuals cross the line and become toxic? While toxicity is not a diagnostic term, these individuals have a tendency for making others feel bad about themselves. These people are all around us who have no appreciation or kind words to say about anyone. If your friend is constantly pointing out flaws in the way you dress, look, and do nearly everything, and if praise is hard to come by, then stay away. Maybe consider why you are even addressing this person as a friend. A meeting with a toxic friend will leave you wondering, why were you born in the first place? And what is the point of your existence? Just as the environment contains toxins, humans contain individuals who are constantly engaging in toxic behavior and attempting to undermine others and their accomplishments. Recognize and avoid toxic people as early in life as possible. The 4 toxic traits. The following are toxic people's behavioral characteristics. Take a look around you and you'll be surprised how destructive negative people are. Trait number 1. Blaming. They will never admit fault or accept responsibility, and you will return home feeling completely responsible for their mess. They possess an incredible ability to provide elaborate justifications for why they should not be held accountable for any given situation. Trait number 2. Criticism. If you are subjected to this criticism for an extended period of time, it can have a devastating effect on your self-esteem. The more gullible and vulnerable you are at the time of receiving this criticism, the more severe the impact on your sense of self. Toxic individuals will criticize others for nearly everything, including their appearance, their eating habits, their work, and anything else that can be criticized. Trait number 3. Negativity. Their cup of negativity never overflows, drowning others in their own tears of low self-esteem. If you share your joy with them, you will encounter negativity and contempt. If you're excited about the weight you've just lost following a rigorous workout regime, you'll soon learn that it won't last long. All that weight will inevitably return. Toxic individuals are incapable of enjoying anything in life, particularly when it comes to others and their happiness. Trait number 4. Emotional blackmail. Toxic individuals will not hesitate to tug on your heartstrings or to use guilt against you in order to compel you to comply with their requests. Toxic individuals attempt to satisfy their needs through guilt trips and emotional blackmail. 4 ways that you could be attracting toxic people. Do you ever wonder what it is about you that attracts negative people? This obviously gives you the impression that something is wrong with you. You have the impression that you are emitting an aura that attracts cynics. Remain calm. This is not your fault. You are your lovely, chirpy, optimistic self, and it is precisely this aspect of your personality that attracts toxins. Toxic people live in a dark, dreary, closed-off world, constantly finding fault with everything. They are deprived individuals, devoid of life's positivity, devoid of love and genuine appreciation. The glass is perpetually empty in their stuffy, miserable existence. They are drawn to you when they see you living a happy, sincere, cup full to the brim existence. Your sunny and upbeat demeanor infuses their lives with a breath of fresh air. They enjoy being around you, but they believe you're a foolish and naive individual. Because of course, life is filled with those dark, gloomy demons lurking in the shadows, waiting to obliterate the sun. There is nothing wrong with you. You simply have these wonderful personality characteristics that attract toxins to you. Number 1, your positivity. Toxic individuals live in a bleak environment with no light at the end of their tunnel. Your bright, optimistic light attracts them, and they naturally gravitate towards you. As you get to know them, you understand that regardless of how optimistic you are, they remain deeply unhappy and disillusioned on the inside. None of your happiness carries over to them. In reality, they resent you for being happy. Toxic individuals can just have toxic relationships and will constantly have something tragic and negative to tell. It does not bother you at first, but eventually you will become depressed and exhausted. If you continue to be around them and allow them to be toxic, they will rob you of your positivity. It is your zest for life that drew them to you, and it is the same zest for life that they will ultimately kill off. They eventually contaminate anything they come into contact with. Negative friends who are hard to please, profoundly dissatisfied with themselves, and hell-bent on conflict are not healthy company. We cannot choose our family, but we can choose our friends without a doubt. Therefore, stop those who enjoy throwing pity parties and inviting you to them. Number 2, your honesty. Toxic individuals are often dissatisfied with themselves and often seek approval from others. They are well aware that they can lie and get away with it. Of course, the burden is still placed squarely on your shoulders. What they are rarely doing is exploiting your sincerity. They are shrewd gossips and knowledge gatherers who profit from your information. Be more selective about who you share information with. The less they know about you, the better. For toxic individuals, the truthful are easy targets and therefore easier to exploit. Although you may be blessed with an inherent sense of goodness, toxic people may be drawn to you purely for selfish purposes, leaving you weakened, used, and hurt. If you've ever wondered why you seem to attract the lowest of the lows, the good news is that it's got nothing to do with your negative personality. You are not to blame. Number 3, your compassion. You are a human being that has empathy for all living things, including these toxic people. This is precisely what they seek, a fool to listen to their woe is me tales. They prey on your caring heart and feed off it, constantly returning for more. Toxic people thrive on victimization, and you will find yourself weeping in your pillow on many occasions, cursing your cruel self for hurting the poor victim. The entire planet is opposed to them, and the unfortunate souls are victimized. Reduce the influence of negative individuals on your feelings, time, and happiness. Number 4, your positive self. For the majority of us, our regular experiences with others at home or at work reinforce and affirm our beliefs about human decency and kindness. Then we encounter individuals who question our preconceptions and force us to reconsider. We come across these people by chance and see the darker aspects of human nature. You encounter possessiveness, narcissism, envy, and deceit. And if you choose to maintain friendships with such people in the hope and belief that they will improve, you demonstrate a high tolerance for toxic people. However, have you considered the long-term effects of these partnerships on you and your self-esteem? You may even have to put up with their negative, even violent attitudes. And you may not even know you're in a toxic relationship until the situation becomes dire. The goodness and positivity you bring to the world are truly priceless gifts. Invest in individuals and situations that will magnify rather than weaken their efforts. Is it possible for a good person to be toxic? Without a doubt, this could happen. In some situations, good people can be toxic and incapable of connecting with others. You may not know it at first because they seem to be so nice to you, but as they grow closer to you and more relaxed with you, their toxic tendencies become apparent. You will begin to feel tired, mentally drained, and pessimistic when you are around them, and they will drag you down. The most toxic personality trait. Jealous people are extremely toxic because they harbor such intense self-hatred that they are incapable of being happy with someone else. And their envy is often expressed by judgment, critique, or gossip. And everyone else they believe is awful, uncool, or flawed in some way. Jealousy can manifest itself into any relationship when a toxic individual is involved. It is a destructive emotion capable of suffocating and undermining trust between partners and friends. How can I tell if my partner is toxic? You'll know your partner is toxic when you hate seeing them because they emotionally exhaust you. You're enraged, sad, and frustrated while you're around them, and you're always attempting to justify them. Constantly attempting to resolve their problems, which never seem to end. Thus, meeting them becomes an experience, as all positivity is sucked out of you, and the universe becomes bleak and depressing. Are people born toxic and depressing? You are born with certain personality characteristics that may be genetic. When you mature, you absorb information about your world and the people in it. Circumstances also contribute to the negativity and envy. Although things can be straightened out to a point during childhood, the fundamentals remain the same. You cannot change these people because they believe they are right. How do you stop attracting toxic friends? Consistently establish boundaries for someone who engages in toxic actions, and avoid feeding them with your energy. Maintain a safe distance and avoid being too forthcoming about your emotions and stories. Avoid their boring, tragic, poor me stories. Do not promote gossiping about others, as they thrive on tearing others down in order to feel better about themselves. So what have we learned? Even if your positive characteristics unintentionally attract harmful people, do not let this deter you from becoming yourself. Simply be conscious of the fact that you can recognize danger and take constructive, preventative action when it occurs. Additionally, keep in mind that your positive gifts have the ability to transform negativity. Just as light dispels darkness, the light will serve as a beacon of hope for those who mean well. Thanks for watching. If you liked the video, then please give us a like and comment, and I'll send positive vibes your way.